Hello, welcome back to Websy Wongy's channel. Hope you guys are doing well. I was going to do a video about kind of like, trying to think. Give me a minute to think of what I was going to do, but I wanted to share because sometimes I look for samples and I found a sample online, and this sweet lady sent me some samples. She's starting her business. It's called Posh. I'm trying to read her business card. Perfectly Posh. You know, it has some like different things. So I just wanted to share the samples because she said one of the things that she would, you know, share a review with a friend or social media. So I just wanted to share real quick the samples I got. The first one is body polish is scrub. I haven't used it yet, but I'm sure they'll be fine. And then a face wash, and body butter. So I haven't tried them yet, but I just want to let everyone know that, just in case you're interested and stuff. But anyways, let's get into their, I was going to say, let's get into the reading. Let's get into the video. There's either two things I want to talk about, but I think I'll talk about, it's something that I'm not proud of, but it's something that I wanted to make a video for quite a while. Recently, someone that I know of, I'm not going to say their name, an unknown person, they actually experienced where they were cheated on. Let's just leave it there. And then the thing that I can address to help any of you who've been cheated on is, why do people cheat from experience? It's something that I'm personally not proud of that I did. You know, there were things going on in my previous marriage that shouldn't have been going on. And we all learn, we all experience different things, we all go through different experiences, we ask for different experiences sometimes. Sometimes we don't plan for things. But I just want to give my experience on one of the regrets. I regret why I cheated. And maybe it can help those who are still healing from it, still trying to process things. Because I know recently, this person I'm referring to, you know, they were cheated on. And this is their second time been cheated on. And it really broke me spiritually, mentally, physically. You know, it really broke me to the point of really, you know, getting hold of myself, healing from wounds that I didn't know I had. A lot of triggers came up with that. But yeah, I'm not mentioning any names, but I just wanted to share my experience on why people cheat. Maybe it can be of some help to those. I'm sorry, I'm playing with this. Sorry, I need something to play with. It's something that I'm personally not proud of, but I wanted to come on here and do a video to see if it can encourage people. Give me a minute. Alright. So anyways, why do people cheat? There are so many different reasons why people cheat, honestly. But just from my experience and the things that I've gone through, one of the key components of cheating, a lot of it is mental. A lot of it is a lot to process, because I'm still trying to process it, even though I was the one who did it. I was the one who did something that I'm not proud of. But from my experience, I think one of the things that causes most people to cheat is when they're not being heard. You know, every relationship's different, every marriage is different, every partnership is different. But one of the key components of infidelity is when you're not being heard. Just to give a heads up, like when I experienced being married to my ex-husband, I was not getting properly affection from him. I was not properly, being heard. There's many times where I felt like I was a victim to emotional abuse. But a lot of it, we don't really ask for it. But to some degree, we do. If any of you are in the spiritual community, everything that happens to us on a soul level, we wanted to experience something. Now, we may have not wanted to experience whether it's cheating, whether it's abuse. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is when we came to this life and wanted to have a contract of what we wanted to experience in life, we chose this. A lot of things happen to us without even knowing. A lot of things we don't ask for, as I said, but a lot of the things happen for soul growth, purposely. Give me a minute. I'm trying to process this because it's not easy. Prior to me cheating on my ex-husband, like I said, I didn't feel from him love. I mean, I knew in his heart he did love me. We all love each other. It's just, we don't express it in the best way. So I knew he loved me. But a lot of the issues in the marriage, it wasn't much of a marriage to begin with. We didn't, have that union that most people do. We didn't have that, better said, instead of just saying all stuff. We didn't come together that most people do in a marriage. And that a lot of that brought pain. A lot of that brought mistrust. A lot of that brought this infidelity. But also too, I want to point out, just because you're not feeling loved by your partner, or just because you're not feeling heard. Anyways, sorry, I had to pause it for a moment. Anyways, a lot of reasons for infidelity is no communication. There could be some communication, but when people aren't on the same page, a lot of times I feel like not having love, not having the union between a man and a woman, or vice versa, whatever gender or sex you are, but not having the intimacy. There's different levels, in my opinion, of intimacy. There's intimacy as two people coming together and having sex, and then there is the intimacy when you fully can open up with someone and you fully can be real. And I recently heard something that for a while, like even now that I'm in a new relationship, when I first got in my relationship with my boyfriend, I had to relearn things. I had to go through different things and triggers and different things from my previous relationship to help me. And he helped me. My boyfriend now, Sean, he's helped me tremendously overcome these struggles, overcome the past, overcome so much. But what I'm getting to is a lot of what they don't teach us growing up, and what a lot of society doesn't teach you, is even for a man, whether it's a woman or a man. I recently heard this, that one of the reasons why men can't open up is because they don't want to feel judged by their partner, And I feel like in either relationship anyone's in, there needs to be a common intimacy where you can fully express yourself and not feel judged. I think another, and I'm starting to understand this more and more, there's so many different stories out there. There's so many things out there of why people cheat. And sometimes, it just happens. Sometimes a person meets someone, it doesn't always happen with a look. Sometimes people say that, oh, this person was tempted by this person, or this person, started, looking more at the other sex, or vice versa, and then, they end up in attraction. And, yes, it does start like that. But one of the things some may not understand how cheating happens, yes, it starts in the heart, it starts in the mind, it starts in the fantasies, is when you're not open with each of your partner, you and your partner, whoever it is. So I feel like a lot of reasons why cheating happened, and I'm starting to see it more and more with other people, especially with this person that I found out recently that they were cheated on, is there's something missing in that person's life or in the relationship that's not getting met in some way. But my experience of what I've observed, what I understand about myself and why I did what I did, is I think a lot of it, some people aren't meant to be with certain people. You know what I mean? Some people are meant to, trying to word this right. Some people, just like animals, aren't meant to mate the rest of their lives, and there comes a point, I feel like, when it comes to cheating scenarios, if you've been with your partner for years and years, they want to change. They want something new. They want something fresh. And I feel like the only way people actually stay together is if they keep learning each other, keep opening up, keep communicating with one another, their likes and dislikes. And, you'll know through time. I've been with my boyfriend going on almost 3 years. And, knowing him almost 4. I've learned so much in that time frame. But also, too, a lot of people don't believe in past lives, which is fine. But a lot of it adds up to past life. Everyone we meet, on some degree, on some level, is a soulmate. Someone that teaches you valuable lessons that you needed to go through for your soul growth. And a lot of people don't understand that. I see it a lot. Sometimes I see people and I'm like, they do something weird or they do something out of character. And I'm like, what were they in a past life to do that? But one thing I've realized from seeing my standpoint of the one who cheated and seeing someone else cheat and learning from it. See, some people don't learn. Some people keep rehashing the past, and that's a problem too. If someone's caught cheating the first time, that's one thing. But if you keep rehashing those events, fantasizing on what happened, what you liked about it, it starts to, cause problems in the present. And like one thing I've learned through my experience and the lessons I've learned through cheating is you have to be very careful on who you talk to. You have to. You have to be careful with your energy. And a lot of it takes discipline, And like I've said in my other previous videos, it's okay to feel emotions because sometimes things come up without us not even thinking about. It's like, why am I thinking about this? But one thing I've learned, emotions are only visitors. They come and go. Like you could have like maybe a bad thought, maybe a sexual thought about someone, but that doesn't mean you have to keep it going. You just let it come in and out. You know, some people may take that the wrong way, but I just feel like, you know, we're human. We're going to think dirty thoughts. We're going to think sexual thoughts. We're going to think thoughts like nature. You know, animals, if you see most dogs, if you observe, most dogs do not stay with one female. It's just not how it works, you know. They will keep on, you know, finding a female. Ooh, I want to sniff her butt, and then get the dog pregnant, you know. It's just how nature works. And I feel like once we start connecting to things with nature, how animals react. Now, there are very few animals that will mate for life, and that's one of my boyfriend's favorite animal is a wolf. They will mate for life. So if you're out there looking for someone in a relationship or something, look for a wolf. Someone who will stick by you. Someone who's going to mate for life and be loyal. But I feel like the important thing to take away from, you know, why do people cheat? There's many different reasons, but I feel like a lot of it has to do with there's something in the relationship that is not working. There's something in the relationship that needs to get resolved. And if it doesn't get resolved, you know, there's going to be infidelity. There's going to be problems. Not saying if in every scenario, you know, someone's going to cheat. And, you know, I've heard many people say, once a cheater, always a cheater. That's a false statement. It can happen if the person allows it, you know, to keep rehashing the past. It can happen. But one thing I've learned is you've got to put a stop to things if you feel like the nudge coming on to do something. You know, we're all human. Like I said, we all become aggressive. We all have a drive to do things that are outrageous, beyond our control sometimes. But you really got to watch your emotions. You really got to watch. Don't listen to your hormones sometimes, because sometimes it can be raging. Sometimes you just want to be crazy, you know. And there are some people, you know, that can take on multiple partners. There's just some people that can do that. But like, you know, if you're one of those people, just, you know, be careful, because that can cause a lot of problems. But yeah, there's many situations I'm not proud of, especially when it comes to cheating. You know, I've had experience with different guys before, but I've learned, you know, what is okay and what's not okay. Especially when you're in a committed relationship, you really need to focus on what do you really want out of this relationship, and what are you willing to work on in the relationship. And if there is any problems, you know, you need to address. And I've learned, you know, almost 3 years of being with my boyfriend is, you know, I don't have to express everything in my life, but I feel like that is a key component to keep the relationship or marriage alive, is talk about the things you don't want to talk about. You know, I'm not trying to say, you know, bring up dirty laundry or anything, but talk about those things that are bothering you. You know, open about, you know, what you can work on. You know, I just feel like a lot of people, you know, they don't really, I'm saying for myself, is sometimes we don't understand why people cheat the second time. And I think a lot of it, and I've done it, you know, I've cheated a few times, is we don't really take full responsibility of our action. We don't really address things, you know. And sometimes you gotta spice it up. Sometimes you gotta change something in your marriage or relationship to fit your desires, to fit your likes, and to change your dislikes, and change things, and, you know, rearrange things in your relationship to be more to your liking as well as your partner's. So anyways, I hope that helps someone out there if they've ever been cheated on, or just curious, or just need advice with that. You know, I'm always here to help anyone who needs help. But yeah, I'm not proud of the mistakes I've made. But I'm still learning, from seeing the outsider standpoint. When I hear these stories, people doing that, it upsets me. It really does, because I don't want